The Division of Horticulture, USDA, will declare the subtleties of a structure to change the food framework to help customers, makers, and rustic networks by giving more choices, expanding access, and making new, more, and better business sectors for little and fair size makers. The lessons learned from the COVID-19 pandemic and supply chain disruptions caused by Russia's war in Ukraine inform today's announcement. In addition, additional information on the June 2021 announcement to strengthen crucial supply chains and address long-standing structural issues revealed and exacerbated by the pandemic is provided in this announcement. Through its Pandemic Assistance Program, the USDA provided producers, businesses, food workers, and others with immediate relief when the COVID-19 pandemic began. It has become abundantly clear that we cannot revert to the previous food system as the pandemic has progressed and Russia's war in Ukraine has disrupted supply chains. The USDA and the Biden-Harris administration are aware that we must improve and strengthen the food system throughout the supply chain, from the production of our food to its purchase and every step in between. Want to know about it in detail? Well, stay tuned till the end. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we will talk about cattles being phased out of the U.S. food supply chain in large numbers. Meanwhile, subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon. That being done, let's start. The dangers of a national food system that relies on capacity concentrated in a few geographic areas and requires numerous steps to get from farm to fork have been made clear by the pandemic and recent supply chain disruptions. The future food system must be more distributed and local in order to be more resilient. Producers will have more options for creating value-added products and selling them locally if they have more capacity to gather, process, move, and store food across the country. This will support new economic opportunities and job creation in rural communities. In addition, increasing regional capacity will lessen the climate impact of our food supply chain and provide consumers with more options for purchasing locally produced goods, assisting in the provision of food for consumers. On average, producers receive only 14 cents of every dollar spent on food. This is largely due to the fact that producers have less influence over the market over the past 50 years as the food system has become more consolidated. Today, only a few companies dominate the processing of meat and poultry, and only a few multinational corporations produce the majority of supermarket brands and products. Food and input costs are currently rising, but so are national supermarket chains and major food companies' profits. COVID has shown the dangers of a food system controlled by a few large corporations. Farmers, ranchers, growers, and consumers will benefit from USDA investments. Food and nutrition insecurity were brought to light and made worse by the pandemic. It is unacceptable for a family in the United States to not have access to affordable, healthy food. Some communities have been underserved by grocery stores and food retailers, making it difficult to access healthy food, and hard-pressed families may have limited food options. These families include seniors on fixed incomes, those who rely on school meals, and those who receive SNAP. The United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, is dedicated to ensuring that every American family has access to affordable and healthy food options. As a result, the Food System Transformation Framework developed by the USDA includes programs designed to guarantee that all consumers have access to nutritious, fresh food. For a really long time, rustic networks, underserved networks, networks that experience determined neediness, and individuals who live there have been abandoned. A person's access to economic opportunity should not be determined by where they live. The majority of our food comes from these communities, where the majority of our drinking water originates, and from where the majority of our energy consumption comes. These communities will be able to keep more of the money invested in the food system thanks to investments made by the USDA in the food system transformation. The wealth generated by these communities will stay in underserved and small towns, helping to lift them out of poverty, accelerating the transition to more equitable growth. This vision will be realized with the assistance of USDA investments made through the programs that are part of this framework. The present declaration upholds the Biden-Harris organization's more extensive work to fortify basic stock chains as coordinated by Chief Request 14,017 America's inventory chains. The American Rescue Plan Act and other relief legislation provide funding. Ranchers and farmers across this nation really buckle down each day to deliver the food that takes care of their neighbors and networks. The pandemic brought to light the numerous obstacles they face when trying to enter markets and get a fair share of the food budget. We are aware that new farmers still face too many obstacles to entry, and that small and medium-sized businesses specifically struggle. The United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, is primarily concerned with expanding opportunities for American farmers to process and sell locally, as well as to adopt climate-friendly practices. The following are upcoming investments made by the USDA. Up to $300 million in a brand new organic transition initiative to give farmers all the help they need to switch to organic farming. Producing organically enables producers to command a higher price on the market, thereby increasing their share of the food budget. Additionally, there may be environmental and climate benefits. This initiative will provide comprehensive technical assistance, including mentorship between farmers, support market development projects in targeted markets, and provide direct support through conservation financial assistance and additional crop insurance assistance. Support for urban agriculture up to $75 million. Urban agriculture contributes to the local economy by connecting producers and consumers to food, agriculture, and one another through community gardens and farms within city limits. The Office of Urban Agriculture and Innovative Production was given permission by the Agriculture Improvement Act of 2018 to give out competitive grants to support urban agriculture. However, only 6% of all applications received in 2020 and 2021 were funded. The USDA will put in $20 million to pay for a backlog of applications and will also have $10 million more money available for the funding year 2022. In addition, the USDA will make an investment of $40 million in cooperative agreements with organizations to support activities that support urban farmers' outreach and training. These funds will make it easier to get healthy food, encourage community involvement, make people more aware of climate change and how it affects urban areas, make jobs, teach people about farming, and make more green spaces. Through the People's Garden Initiative, the USDA is also investing $5 million to support local production. These measures build on the Organic Certification and Transition Cost Share Program, which was previously announced and provides pandemic assistance to agricultural product producers and handlers obtaining or renewing their NOP certification. Producers with limited resources may not be able to access the market because of this process, which can be costly. The Farm and Food Worker Relief Grant Program, which will assist food production and processing workers who face difficulties during the pandemic, was also announced earlier this year by USDA. Farmers in the United States are being forced to consider depopulating their animals as a result of COVID-related slaughterhouse closures, which are prompting concerns about rising prices and meat shortages. In excess of 20 slaughterhouses have been compelled to close, albeit some have thusly returned. On Tuesday, President Trump gave a chief request to keep slaughterhouses open, which would, he said, assist with tackling risk issues for meat organizations. According to reports, farms have already killed at least 2 million animals, and that number is expected to rise. Slow suffocation by covering them with foam or cutting off the barn's ventilation are approved methods for killing poultry. The U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service issued a nationwide advisory on Friday, stating that state veterinarians and government officials would be prepared to assist with culling, also known as depopulation, if no other options could be found. Leah Garkis, president of the animal welfare organization Mercy for Animals in the United States, described the advisory as a clear indication of a national emergency involving farm animals. According to Garkis, the most vulnerable animals are chickens, followed by piglets. Chickens are bred to grow quickly and should be killed between 42 and 47 days after birth. Then they pass away. Political leaders in Iowa, the largest pig-producing state in the United States, have warned that meat plant slowdowns or closures could force producers to kill 700,000 pigs per week. The situation has been made worse by industry consolidation, which has resulted in a 45-year drop in the number of meat processing plants by half. So what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below. And that's all for the day, guys. If you found this video interesting, make sure to hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update from us. Thank you for watching. We'll see you at the next one. Until then, peace.